In this lesson, we're going to create a login form so that if somebody doesn't have a current account, in other words, if they haven't provided a username, we present them with a form so they can kind of get started and up and running. We're going to do a lot of that in this dashboard component right here. And what I want to do is essentially conditionally render this dashboard based on whether or not the username is there. So we're going to do a few things with that. First of all, let's get rid of this H1 right here. We don't need that anymore. And then I'm going to actually conditionally render it right here. So we're going to say if there is a username, then we're going to do something. If there's not a username, then we'll do something else. And let's get rid of this and close all this stuff out. So for now, what we're going to say is if there is a username, then go ahead and just show us the username. Let's just put this in a paragraph tag like this. So we'll say user name. And then if there's not a username, let's go ahead and create a component that we're going to pass in here. We'll just call this component intro. All right, just like that. And I guess I don't need to actually have this in parentheses. So just like that, we're going to have an intro component. Now, the last thing I want to do is make this a fragment so that essentially I'm just going to either have this or this. I don't need it to be wrapped in some kind of div. Now, if I save this, I'm going to get yelled at because we haven't created this yet. So let's go ahead and do that. Over here in the components here, I'm going to say intro.jsx. And once again, I'm going to use my shortcut to just template that out. Come over this way, and then let's go ahead and make sure that we've got this intro being pulled in up top. And let's see, probably the easiest way is just to come back here and grab it like that. Okay, so now it's auto imported, and I can come in here and say components, and we've got that. Okay, so it's either going to say intro, like it does right here, or it'll show the username. So now let's actually build out this intro component. Here I want to give this thing a class name, and that would be intro, and I've got some styling that will take care of handling how all this looks based off that class name. In here though, there'll just be a div, and we'll have an H1 that says take control of, and then inside of a span here, I'm going to add a class of accent that will style this based on that accent color, that greenish color. We'll say your money. So if I save that, it should show up, and there it goes. Below the H1, then I want a paragraph. This paragraph will simply say personal budgeting is the secret to financial freedom. Start your journey today. All right, so that's the text. Let's now add a form below this. And just like before, we're going to actually use a form from React Router DOM. That will allow us to submit this to a certain endpoint and then handle that with the action on our dashboard. So with this in place, we want a method here of post. And by default, just like with any form in HTML, if you submit a form and you don't handle that form, it will submit it to that exact page, which is actually what we want. So this lives on the dashboard page. It's a component on that dashboard page, and we want it to submit to that page. So we'll just leave alone the action. We don't need to specify an endpoint. It'll actually submit it to the page just like a normal HTML form. I'm going to have one input here, and this input should be the type of text, and the name, which you need to give it here, is user name. Now, just like with any form, you can actually get the form data using JavaScript, and it will look for anything with a name attribute and give that to you in essentially an object. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but that's the gist. And the form element from React Router DOM uses that exact same method. That way you're not having to change around. You just use basically normal HTML, and it kind of handles all the magic. So here we go. We've got a name of username. I also want to make sure that this is required. And then let's add a placeholder, and this placeholder will say, what is your name? Or something like that. And then finally, I'm not going to have a label here, so let's go ahead and add an ARIA label that says like your name or something like that. Okay, so that should all be set and ready. There's one more thing I want to add though, and that would be an autocomplete. So you know how sometimes you're like filling something out, a form out, and it just suggests your name on your phone? Well, that's because of this autocomplete attribute. What we're going to do is pass it given name. So that should default to the person's given name if they have that set up on their device. Maybe just to make this a little easier to read, let me put this all on its own line. I'll be right back with you. All right, so we've got a basic input, and if I come over here, I can type my name. We get some nice styling and everything. Now, we also need a button, obviously, to submit this form. And again, by default, these are types of submit, but I'll go ahead and just add that on here. And then I do want to give this a class name, a button, and btn dark, like that. Now, inside here, I'm going to have two things. First of all, a span that says create account. And then second of all, I want a icon. All right, so we're going to be using those icons we've pulled in a lot throughout the site just because we might as well get the benefit of all that. So I'll have library imports here, and I'm going to import user plus icon. This is from hero icons React 24 solid. And whoops, this is supposed to be in quotation marks like that. Okay, so there we go. Let's go ahead and use this down below then. And then let's go ahead and set a width on here for the SVG. We'll say a width of 20. Now the last thing I need to do is as a a sibling to this whole div right here. So right below here inside the kind of wrapper div, I'm going to add an image here, and the src is going to point to an illustration that we're going to import. And this we do want to give an alt attribute. We'll say like person with money, and we'll set a width on here of something like 600. All right, so let's go ahead and import that before I save. So we'll say assets and then import. We called it illustration from. We'll go up a level to our assets and then illustration.jpg. All right, so we are mostly there. If I come over here and I start to expand this out, it should eventually snap next to each other. There you go. Someone can put their name in here and say like hi or something. And then right now it's going to submit and there's an error because we haven't handled that. So we're partway there. Now we just need to handle this action. So by default, again, if you submit a form to a page, it'll submit it to that page. The page that this intro element lives on is the dashboard. So let's come over to the dashboard. We've created a loader function, but we have yet to create an action. So let's go ahead and come in here. We'll say action, and we'll export this as an async function called dashboard action. Again, you could just call this action and rename it. I think that's what the docs do, but I'd rather do it like this because I think it's a little cleaner. Now, because we've posted this to this page, we should actually get a request object that's sent along with it. So we've submitted the form, and with those forms come a request. And so what we're going to do is actually get from that all the form data we need. So if I say const data equals await request.form data, that should give me access to all of this data right here. So let's go ahead and look at what we're doing first of all. So I'm going to console.log, and inside here I want the data, and then I'll also go ahead and just get the request as well. So I get access to both of those, and I'll just wrap them in an object so that it's broken out nicely for us. Now right now, if I submit this, we still have yet to tell React Router that this is our action function. So that's what I need to do next. So let's come back to our app.jsx, and I'm going to come down here, and in addition to a loader, I'm also going to have an action. And that will be my dashboard action. And that should import if I click enter, and there we go. So dashboard action and dashboard loader, along with the actual element that I'm passing in. All of those are being used right here. So now when I submit this, it should actually give me access to that. So let's pull this up here, and I'll refresh. Okay, we're set. If I come over here and I submit like this, it should give me those two things. You can see that's what it does. I get the data. This is the actual form data. And form data is nothing unique to React Router. It's actually just an API that you have access to in the browser. So you can get any form data and then manipulate those values, get them as long as they have a name attribute on each of those inputs. But I also get a request because that's what happens when you submit anything to a page. That request includes a body, it includes headers, it includes a method, a mode for cores, all this kind of stuff comes naturally when you submit a form to a page. Now what I want to do is handle that actual data. So if I come back over this way, I want to get the data right there. And there's a couple things you can do. The way that this form data API works, to actually get anything from it, I have to actually call the specific name of that input that we sent in. And you might remember we gave it the same exact name as what will eventually be in our local storage. So I could say something like const username equals data.get, and I have to actually pass it username like this. So let's do that. I'm going to console log this, and then let's do it one more time. So Chris, come down here, I should actually get username Chris. All right, so that's exactly what I'm getting. Now there's a couple of different ways that makes it a lot easier to work with this form data. And the easiest way is just to grab object.fromEntries. And again, this is just normal JavaScript in this point, and I'm going to get that from data. We'll just say that this is like form data or something like that. And let's console log this one more time. Come in here, Chris. There we go. So now I'm getting an object with all of my form data. So I can now just access it like form data.username or whatever. Now, what do we want to do with what we get back from here? Well, really, all I want to do is save that to my local storage. So I could say something like local storage.setItem, and I could set this to username, and then pass it json.stringify. Now, what do I want to stringify? Well, my form data.username. Now, as soon as I do that, it should actually save that username to the key of username, which should, in turn, pass it along to the loader function, which means this intro will no longer show. So if I save this here, I come over here and I hit Chris. Now you see that I actually have a user right here. It still doesn't know what to do yet with all this. That's all right. But at least you can see it's actually giving me a user. If I come down here and I look at my application, there it is right there. Now, if I delete this user, the user should be gone, and I come back here and see how we've got this nice little thing we created. Let's go ahead and do the same thing for when we create a user as well. So let's do a couple things here. Let's first of all wrap this in a try catch. So we'll say if this is true, and again, you'd probably want to return this back if it was actually hitting a database. What we're going to just do is assume that it works. So I'll say we return a toast.success. This is from that toast React Toastify. And what we'll do is say welcome. And then again, we'll just pass it the same thing. So this would be form data.username. Otherwise, I want to catch the error, and I'll just throw a new error and say something like, there was a problem creating your account. Because I know what the error will be, I'm going to show this exact message to the user rather than just some obscure dev talk. So let's come over here and say something like Chris once again, and you can see that now I get Chris showing back up here. If I delete this, it should delete. Now you'll notice I did not get the actual toast message, and I think that's because I never imported this up top. Yeah, so let's go ahead and just see if it'll let us auto import. There we go, react.toastify, and right here, we'll say library imports. You could, of course, manually type this as well, but why do work when it's going to autocomplete for us? One more time, come in here, welcome Chris. So it's actually giving me my name, it knows who I am, and now Chris shows up right here too. Close that down, I hit delete, and it should delete, and it comes back here. Okay, so we've got this operational, it's actually working for us, but what happens if there is an error? Let's go ahead and just throw an error right now. So throw new error, and we'll just say like, you done, all right? So let me come back over here and type in again, and now I should get error, but you'll notice I'm not actually getting this new error message showing up. Rather, it's just showing error. Now we can customize that error component so it actually shows the message that we want. In this case, there was a problem creating your account. And where we would do that would be in the error.jsx file. So in the next video, I'll show you how to customize this error component so that it shows your unique error message for different kinds of errors that may happen throughout your application.